Alright, let's take a look at this. For each problem, find the volume of the solid that results from the region enclosed as it rotates across the y-axis. So we're going to take x equals negative y squared plus 4 and x equals 0. This is where we're bounded. So when you see this, because we don't know exactly what negative y squared plus 4 is, I solved this so that I can get divided by negative 1, we get what? Negative 1x minus 4 equals y squared. Then I can square root this, and upon doing so, I get the square root of negative 1x minus 4 equals y. Okay, so when I look at this graph, what I see is that I'm at 4, and then this graph goes over here. So the problem in this example is that the graph is minus 4, which means you actually shift 4 to the right. So in this scenario here, this is the region of interest here. And we are rotating this around the y-axis, right? So if I'm rotating this around the y-axis, we're spinning it this piece here around there. And so what we're concerned with is, remember, in the default, it gives us the equation there as negative y squared plus 4. So this is going to be negative y squared plus 4 minus 0 quantity squared. The integration from what? From 0 to this point here, which I have to figure out, pi, and this is going to be dy. So first off, why do I know that this comes first? Because if we look here right to left, the radius extends out this much to the right. So this function here is the value to the right, and then the left is just this line right here, which is 0. So that's why we have this. We know we go from 0 and we stop at this value. So how do you figure out what this value is? Well, you know, x is 0 at this value. So if we go to the equation, if x is 0 here, we solve, we get the square root of 4, which is, sorry, I gotta squeeze that in, that's 2. Okay, so you know you're doing this from 0 to 2. Okay, now, there's one point here, and I mentioned this in class, and this is where I made my mistake. Okay, you don't have that as an answer choice, and the reason why is when you take the square root, this actually becomes plus or minus. So though I have the positive value, I didn't have the negative value. So my mistake here is that it actually doesn't go to 0, but it goes to negative 2. Okay, so be careful here, because when you do take the square root, you get plus or minus. Okay, in other future problems in this packet, what we ended up seeing was, because we were bounded on the y-axis, we only draw the top half. So if you're working through your packet and you realize, why is it on one problem that I draw the whole picture, but in another one I just do the green part? Well, that depends on how we bounded it. Alright? Hopefully that makes sense, and I'll see you when I see you.